the time to do this, mate. I really appreciate it. I don't know why I just did that.
No.
As I said, mate, thank you so much. This is really kind. Thank you.
No dramas. Oh, okay. You got some wine there?
Yeah, we certainly do. So we got the rosé. Is it the rosé? This one? Is it rosé?
Yeah, rosé. Yeah.
Rosé. We got some Pinot, and we've got the cold 20 as well.
Okay, cool. The cold 20 is nice and cold.
Yeah, no, indeed, definitely. As I said, rosé. Thank you.
Bear with me 1 sec. I'll be back. Just going to grab my wine. All right.
Cool.
Is it okay?
In 5 minutes later, I forgot to take the wine.
That's really rich coming from you, mate. That is so rich coming from you.
Oh, I was on time.
It's a first for you.
I'm very happy, Charles, you brought the samples.
Yeah, no, I was right. Can you imagine sitting there instead of
Actually, quite a lot going on today. We've got a bunch of guys in the SOMs from the Pig Hotels group.
Oh, nice, cool.
Yeah, they're renting. Actually, they're using the place as a venue. They've got
really?
two of their wine suppliers here. We've got Berkman and Swig at the same time, all doing like big tastings and stuff. So it's an unusual day.
Well, thanks for taking the time to see us.
Guys out in the vineyards, did some tucking in and canopy management. But otherwise, quite a quiet day. We're shut to the public today and tomorrow, and then opening again Wednesday.
Nice, cool.
But never a dull moment. How are things for you guys?
Busy, I think it's the phrase I'd use. Busy.
Yeah.
It's very busy down in Cartmel. It's busy up at Henlock. I mean, the whole of the Lake District is just pretty intense at the moment, mate.
Yeah.
Which is great, to be honest. It's fantastic. It's lovely to see after 18 months of stop-start and closing and all this kind of stuff. It's just nice to be back in the swing of it again, you know. I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying Long Plume's fully booked until the end of time. Roadland goes pretty much the same, and Henlock's not far behind. So, yeah, we're doing all right.
We had a great time. I mean, we were with kids, so it wasn't the most relaxed, but it was still a good time had at Rogan and Co. Kayleigh looked after us very well.
Oh, fantastic! Nice.
And no, I
heard you drank some nice wines, yeah.
Yeah, we got a few bottles going. Yeah, it was, and Kayleigh was. We sent. I think sent her down to Long Plume to grab a couple of extra bits. And
Yes.
As I say, yeah, I heard all about it. I saw the empty bottles at the end of it as well. It's all I got to see. Nice, fantastic.
Yeah, sorry we didn't get to Henrock in the end, but
it's one of those things. This whole track and trace ping thing it's starting to take hold, and it was just really bad timing, unfortunately. It's just one of those things, mate. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. No, we had it here.
We'd love to have you there at some point.
Yeah, thanks, man. No, it's been called a pandemic now because everyone's getting pinged.
Completely. It's an inundated nightmare, but yeah, we crack on. We get on with it.
Yeah, we had a couple like that, but then we've since we all deleted the app, it's been absolutely fine.
No, it's funny that it's the irony of the situation. As soon as everyone deletes the app, then actually the situation's fine. It's funny that.
Yeah. So I mean, how much? We'll get stuck into some wines. I'm not sure how you guys are doing for time, but I've got small children running around all over the place. So I'll give you as much of my time as I can until it becomes. No,
it's quite all right, mate.
Try to sabotage it. I mean, how familiar are you guys with with the Tillingham wines and Tillingham in general?
I mean, I know a bit. I don't know about you guys. I know a bit, but
I will be honest, minimum a month.
Okay, fine. No worries.
Maybe start from the beginning. I think might be the best way to
start from the beginning. All right. So, bit of background on me. I come from farming. Grew up in the northeast. Went to uni and got into hospitality, working in wine shops, majestic, odd bins, mixed with various sort of back of house and front of house, kitchen and bar work and you name it, and that's how I got through uni. Okay.
Yeah, oh, sorry. 1 second, mate, we're losing you.
And the only thing I think
Oh.
that I could pursue as a career was wine. So I left. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. Sorry, internet's just a bit
So the
dodgy.
one thing I thought I'd go after and pursue was a career in wine. So left Newcastle, went travelling around Europe, worked a few vineyards, and loved it so much that I came back, went to Plumpton, did a 2-year course, and was determined that one day I'd have my own vineyard. I was also at that time, 20 years ago, getting excited about biodynamics and some of the vineyards that I visited, one in Burgundy, which was particularly inspirational, sort of taught me the importance of a healthy soil and of sympathetic winemaking, and I knew that was going to be a core part of what I did. So after that, big opportunity came when I got into bed with some investors, and we started planting some vines in Sussex. And then we decided to buy a vineyard. That vineyard was Gusbourne, and that's how I became the the chief executive of Gusbourne, and took Gusbourne from a 20,000 a bottle a year production to Gusbourne that you see today. And it was while I was there in 2016 that I was quite keen to get my own little project started, and I found this farm, and we're about 20 minutes from Gusbourne right now. And actually the first and only time I've been to Loncloon was actually when I was working for Gusbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was January, would have been January 2014, something like that. I had a great time. Thank you very much. And anyway, this thing kicked off in back end of 16, and 17 started buying grapes, 18 planted vines, 19 had finished the building work to open the 11 rooms restaurant and bar, and we got a wood-fired pizza restaurant as well under a barn here as well. And then obviously since we opened, it's same old story as everyone else, stop start. And now we're going absolutely hell for leather and exceeding all expectations in terms of turnover and footfall. So all of that's the sort of the potted back history. The winemaking started in 17 from exclusively bought in grapes. I always believed that there was a future in English wine outside of traditional method, that with the right site selection, with the right vision, we can make compelling reds, whites, rosés, orange, you name it, and it didn't just have to be sparkling. I do a traditional method every year, and it varies depending on the vintage, how warm it is, basically how much traditional method I make. But for me, it's I like to drink all manner of different wine styles, and I'm curious to try making them as well. So the last 4 vintages, we've gone from about first vintage was about 7,000 bottles over 7 different cuvées, and last year I made about 25 wines and around 35,000 bottles.
Wow.
And we've got a few to taste now, but this is just a little snapshot. And I suppose an important milestone was first year making wine for my own grapes. So I've
you just
here.
Those released
3 wines in front of you are all made from a select. Yeah, we dropped a little allocation just to online direct to consumer sales on Friday night. There's more coming, but there's we're going to put a little bit out into distribution, and then the rest we're going to keep back and sell here on our list at the restaurant here and in our shop.
Nice, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me whistling through it. Any questions?
So far, no, nothing.
No, not at all.
All right. Well, maybe they might come when we get into the wines a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
You're going to open the cold 20?
Yeah, cool.
It's pretty early doors, this one. The Col 20's literally just become ready for sale. The Col 20 sold out pretty quick. Col 19, sorry, sold through pretty quickly.
That's fine,
So
that's fine.
the deal, the thing with the Col Fondo, I'm not sure how many of you guys have had a Col Fondo before.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'd never even heard of it until I think it was February 2017, 18. Went to Venice and tried. That bottle will be showing. The one I just opened was really like had a nice florality, but I've had a couple of bottles which have been a bit shut down and a bit funky. But I think that's just down to how I mean this isn't live yet. This hasn't gone available to other people.
Is that very
It also
zippy
has
on the nose?
going. What?
It's very. You were saying it's very zippy on the nose.
It's straight in.
Yeah.
Certainly, it's very intense. Yeah.
It wakes you up.
So yeah, I was going to, in 17, I'd made quite a lot of traditional methods, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, and then went to Venice and thought, oh, I'm going to try this ancestral method, Col Fondo style, and I've been doing it ever since. And the blend changes each year depending on what comes in. This year it's largely Auxerrois, which was direct pressed and vinified in a large like Fuda, like double stuck, big oak vat.
Yeah.
There's a bit of Chardonnay in there from Quevry, and there's a bit of Muller-Thurgau as well.
Where's the Auxerrois grown? The UK.
Suffolk.
Suffolk.
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
got a good grower up there.
Where's that? Where's Suffolk?
Where's Suffolk? Suffolk's. My geography is terrible today.
Anglia.
I'm not doing great on the whole geography front today at all. Suffolk's just.
So yes, just north of Essex.
Yeah, that's where it is. That's where it is. Yeah.
The idea with this is it's re-fermented in bottle like champagne, but you at much lower pressure.
Yeah.
So you just add in like about a quarter of the amount of sugar that you'd add to a champagne. So you end up with quarter the pressure. And you don't disgorge. So this still has the lees in the bottle. With the last bit you'll pour out will be quite cloudy.
Okay.
It's very nice.
You'll like it.
Quite powerful, quite floral. It's very interesting, you know. It's sharp on the acidity, but the bubble, you know, makes it up, makes it a bit more texture. Perfect, you know, for a warm day.
I was about to say it is absolutely ideal for a warm day, and what 10.5% ABV. It's delicious, isn't it?
Charlie is maybe the only glass you can drink, you know, 10.5%. And it's fine for you, right?
Yeah, I think it's a nice little apero. You know, just you know,
great.
a little bit of tartness, bit fruity, refreshes the palate. I mean, not to be sort of confused with how you'd deploy like an English sparkling or a champagne. You know, it's a different type of offer.
Yeah, agreed.
But for you know, I'm probably a bit of a hand sell for some of your customers who might be having more of a classic reference.
Yeah, I think for long cream, it's always a bit tricky. This, I think.
Yeah.
It's, I think for maybe more for Logan company, I think that's more the kind of the style, or maybe hand rock on the terrace.
So Henrock itself is situated in a big 5-star hotel called Linthwaite House. It's part of a collection of hotels called the Lou Collection, which are based in Franschhoek in South Africa. And Linthwaite House is their UK property, and on the front-facing side of it, overlooking Lake Windermere, is a huge terrace, like massive terrace. And we can sit about 70 people out there, and yeah, it's the sort of thing that could go quite well, actually, to be fair. You know, we do a lot of afternoon teas out there. We serve some burgers, hot dogs, chicken sandwiches, that kind of stuff out there. It's really fun, a bit different, a bit quirky. You know?
Don't rub it in. Don't rub it in. I had 2 tables booked, so I'm gutted.
We will date you there. I promise. Yeah, I do like it. It's nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'll get a week of weather like the week I had when I was there. It was
No,
absolutely
probably
amazing.
not. Sod's law. It's going to be one of those things. We're going to get you there, so that we're going to get you on the terrace, and it's going to be tipping it down with rain or snowing or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we're full
Should
of
we
really
move on to the road?
Yeah, definitely.
It works. I mean, we've done pet nut before.
True.
We had it on the menu. We sold it all. It took us 3 years, but we sold it. We sold all the pet nut.
What's that?
He was saying that at Long Plume they don't pet nat and stuff isn't a really big thing at Long Plume, but you do get the occasional customer who really enjoys it. It's a bit more of a, I wouldn't say traditionalist wine list here. There's certainly some fun things on there, but it's a bit more classic.
It's not the biggest sales, let's say it like that. Like
Yeah.
as soon as you start to arrive to very natural wines, the clientele it's a bit
Yeah.
it's a bit scared about it. But sometimes you have some let's say Londoners or people coming from Leeds or which are a bit more open-minded about that and which understand that a wine doesn't have to be 100% filtered and which can have a little bit more fun into the glass. And like yesterday, for example, that's the only thing which I sold. The guy told me straight away, so okay, I want something which is unusual, which is organic, biodynamic, like unfiltered, which has flavor in the glass. I don't want this kind of traditional sulfated wine. It's okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's like, if you have people from Hackney or East London, easy sale. But after that, you get your standard Sauvignon Blanc, New Zealand drinkers. That's a different approach for them.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I really like this rosé. It's quite striking, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, strictly speaking, it's not really a rosé. If you think about the vinification, like rosés generally, you take some red grapes and you either crush them a bit, or if you're doing Sangnier, you have a bit of time with contact, and that's where you get the color. This is slightly different. This is inspired by a French winemaker called Daniel Sage, and he's very much in the left-hand side of the spectrum for being like a real hardcore.
Where's Daniel Sage from?
Ardèche.
Okay.
Basically, I tasted one of his wines. I've tasted a few of them, and they're imported by Gagovi Wines. 40 Maltby Street in London.
Yeah.
Those guys, and I mean, they're pretty hardcore natural wine guys, but I drink there. I drink there with someone who knows their list very well, if you know what I mean. So the idea basically is you take, this one is whole bunch Pinot Noir. So I've got concrete fermenter, like a big traditional non-blow concrete fermenter, and I fill the fermenter with whole bunch Pinot Noir. So it's starting off like a carbonic maceration. But what I do is then I take Pinot Blanc and I press the Pinot Blanc and I take the juice of the Pinot Blanc and then fill the same tank with just the white juice of Pinot Blanc, and then I leave it. So you have a carbonic environment, but you're not using any carbon dioxide. Instead of the carbon dioxide, you're using white wine juice, basically white grape juice.
Wow.
And then you have it's like a co-fermentation. So you have the carbonic with the whole cluster Pinot Noir, and then you have a ferment in the white juice. And after a week, I take the juice out and I empty the cuve, and then I foot crush all of the grapes, and then we press them, and then the wine you at that stage you don't really have many broken skins, so at that stage it's incredibly pale, and then with the foot crushing you get a bit more color, and afterwards once it's all pressed it goes back into the same concrete tank to finish fermentation. So it's like a semi-carbonic with a twist, but with that time with the clusters in there, and with a bit of the gentle foot crushing, you get a little bit more structure than you would if I'd done it with just a gentle extraction of the Pinot Noir. There's a bit more like more
Yeah.
tannin, just a tiny bit, and not a lot really, but it's much more of a food orientated rosé, if you like, but still with a nice energy.
It was very good.
I really like it. Really like it.
Very,
And it's still
vibrancy
very,
to it. There's texture to it, which I really like.
very on
Do you
Yeah.
do you use sulfite on your wines?
yeah, I do a little bit, just not in the beginning of the wine, because I want the wild yeast on the grapes to be doing the fermentation. And if you add sulfur to the juice, you're going to have problems with that. And then I keep the wine always on gross leaf, and all the way through until racking, and I'll rack just before bottling. And at that point, just before bottling, that's the only time I add the sulfur.
Okay.
Because I need most of the wines, nearly all of the wines, to go through malolactic, and that happens naturally as well. And if I add sulfur, that's also preventative for the mallow. So I have to work really cleanly in a cellar, and as one should. Because without the sulfur in the wine, you have the risk of the contamination, VA, Brett. So I quite like a lot of the wines, they form floor. So whether it's in the Qvevri, in the clay, like amphoras, or in the concrete barrels, not so much barrels, because I tend to keep the barrels more topped up, unless it's intentionally not topped up. I have a program making one wine which is not non-topped up, it's called Floor. And so every year
I tasted it. It's fantastic.
Thank you. Good to hear. And so just a little bit of sulfur. So generally around 30 parts, but sometimes a little bit more.
Nice. Yeah, okay, good.
How do you say you're into your sort of biodynamics and stuff like that? The grapes that you've been buying in up until now, are they coming from biodynamic vineyards or?
Yeah.
That's cool. Nice.
No, I mean, I wish, but there is no one selling biodynamic grapes. It's just anyone who's growing them is keeping them for themselves, basically. Yeah, so we work with a handful of growers, and some of them are more conventional than others. But the two largest growers I work with are working in a more holistic, regenerative way, but nowhere near what we're doing. Yeah, cool. So our farming here, we take elements of biodynamics, like the biodynamic preps, and composting, and putting BD 500 out and 501, and using plant-based treatments as well. So we use like nettle teas, dandelion, horsetail. That will be the next one we use, but we integrate that with a regenerative agriculture program. So whether that's using livestock or using more science-based ways of improving soil health. So that's we're going ahead in the autumn with direct drilling cover crops, so minimal disturbance drilling. Nice. And then alternative ways of making supercharged compost teas to get the soil biology working. So it's very much an integrated approach, but we are Demeter certified. Yeah. So it's just I want to have certification. Just I feel like it's a nice thing to have to evidence to people that your minimum standards are biodynamic at the very least.
Also, there aren't many of you in the UK, to be fair, doing it, so it's really cool.
How do you work on your in terms of the wines, the berries that you grow and the berries that you buy from, in terms of maybe kind of percentage, or is this kind of special cuvées that you are using your own grapes only, or how does it work, this part?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. No.
I think we froze.
I think we've just broken up there very slightly.
Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, all good.
No. That's good. I think I got the gist of what you were saying.
Sorry,
basically, no, it's going to be my end. I'm sat outside in the farmyard, but generally it's been pretty good up until now, so I'll crack on. So we keep the bought-in grapes very separate from the what I call the domain wines.
Okay.
So last year was our first vintage, and we made 3 wines. We made a white, a red, and a rosé. That the ones we just talked about actually that came out on Friday, and they have a different visual identity. They employ some of the same winemaking techniques, but the other 21 wines are exclusively fruit from other people. And what will happen over the next few years is, as the domain production increases, we'll buy in less. And then some of the wines, like that rosé, for example, might stop being bought in fruit and be exclusively domain fruit. And we'll just make that clear when we make that switch to people, so they know.
Yeah, nice. How? Okay. Have they written on it, or which ones are the ones from your domain at the moment?
Yeah, they're the 3 that were posted on Instagram on Friday night.
So they've literally just.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Sorry about
there's a white field blend, a red field. Well, there are actually 3 different field blends. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I've just shown him a picture of it.
Okay,
On
cool.
Instagram.
Yeah, sorry, cheers.
I wanted to buy some, but you'd sold out before I had a chance.
He's already
I
skiing
think
anyways.
we'll do another. We might do another tranche.
Nice.
Pinot.
Could I just check with you guys which one you've got? I can't remember which one I left. You hold the
So
bottle
we
up.
just got the standard Pinot. Could you do a barrel one as well, don't you?
Yeah. So that one you've got there, it's torn. The torn edges along the bottom.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And it's got the logo. The logo is in brown.
Yeah.
Brown ink.
That's the L 2017.
Yeah, I mean, you might have noticed, like the rosé in this one, it doesn't give you a lot of information about like the name of the cuvee. It just there's not much info there at all. Thanks. There are 2 Pinots. So this one is the élevage is all in oak, and the Pinot is it's largely crushed and destemmed, so like a traditional red wine ferment, but quite a short extraction. So it's no more than a week on skins, and then pressed to 2 different oak formats, both relatively old. So not looking to get too much oak, but there's a little bit there. The other one is torn from the top. The other cuvee is torn from the top, and it's got a grey ink, grey logo, and that one's 100% from concrete.
Okay, cool. How do you distribute your wine, if I may? Is it something that we could work on to work directly with you, or do we need to work with? Do we have to work with Bonvino or Les Caves de Pirène?
Yeah, I don't know how it works up in your neck of the woods. Do you buy direct from the Caves de Pirène?
No, that's why I'm asking.
So Bonvino is like the wholesaler up in the north of England, from sort of Caves de Pirène, who we buy from.
Right. Okay, I get you. So when I had the Cuvée Montpère from Canava, that would have come through Bonvino.
Yeah, so that's why I'm asking, to see if there is kind of a way we can kind of skip the chain, or
take out the middleman and just buy directly from you.
American Gate, so I think that's another one.
Is it frozen again?
I'm just going to move.
Teleportation. Welcome to the south. We're very behind. Yeah, the bronze might be us as well.
I remember the internet being epic.
It's no.
It's better.
It's better. Yeah, it's getting better.
It only takes you 2 hours.
Yeah, good.
up in a restaurant now.
Nice.
Sharp.
Yeah. So Buon Vino. Yeah, I mean that's going to make the wines quite expensive, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I'm asking. I don't want to kind of put in trouble to cause any problems with relations, but I know that it's something which I kind of do not understand about UK, which is kind of annoying me. It's the fact of we are having to pass by 15 guys before to get wines from the UK. And sometimes, like for example, I know that I have a friend which is working in Luxembourg, which is selling your wines, and he's having almost half of the price compared to us. So I got a bit pissed off when I got this information. But yeah.
Yeah. No, so we like our export price is the same as the price that Le Cave will buy at. So obviously Le Cave will put their margin on, and then if they sell to Buon Vino, then Buon Vino make a little bit of money. So you can see how it quite quickly gets quite a bit more expensive.
And that's why.
That's why. Yeah, I mean the price, all of the wine that leaves the vineyard, you know, when we're selling it to a distributor, wholesaler, we sell it to everyone at the same price. No one gets a special price. And if we were to sell to you guys direct because you didn't want to buy it from Buon Vino, then you know I'd have to speak to Le Cave to see if that was acceptable to them. I don't know. How much business are you doing with Buon Vino?
We do quite a lot.
No, I was about to say quite a fair amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
Across
Yeah, I mean,
the
we
board.
have to look at it. First of all, we need to find wines that like you're comfortable with and you like, and then see what we can do.
Yeah, that's why that's why I don't want to kind of cause any troubles. It was like maybe something which we could maybe see like here and there. If maybe there's like a wine that we could do, for example, the Pinot, that could definitely be something which we could do by the glass easily, because it's kind of it's very appealing, it's very attractive, the same as the rosé. Why not by the glass? I'm not as charged in terms of like supporting the English winemakers, but I do like to promote it because I think it's very interesting to show what the country is about. And I really like to kind of have English wines here and there. We do work a lot with Exton Park, for example, which we work directly with. The same with some other producers, and yeah, it's I like to kind of show that and to kind of change the mentality about the British in general about wines from the UK, because they all heard about, but no one really tried it, and sometimes they're still afraid of, especially in the north. I think in the south it's a bit easier because everyone is close to the vineyards. But in the north, it's very far away from them, so they never kind of had the chance to try. For example, like some nice Pinot from the UK. Everyone's like, Pinot from the UK, is it okay? Can I buy it and then I'm not gonna choke or so that's why.
Yeah.
It's something which I really like to kind of show in the at Lanclume. We work with Gusbourne, Davenport. We don't have any of your wines at the moment on the list. We used to have, but sold out. But yeah, it's wines which are kind of popular, which are kind of niche. And I know that, for example, like yeah, the Pinot for me are really very easy to sell.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I get it. And what about do you work direct with Davenport?
Yeah.
Interesting, because he's a Le Cave guy.
Yeah, if that's something which is kind of a bit undercover and set and wet, so that's why.
Well, it's not
Well, that's
undercover
it.
anymore, mate.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Don't worry, I'm not gonna tell Le Cave.
No, but we don't
No.
take a lot. We buy here and there. I mean, to be honest, we work at 24 bottles a year or something like this. So it's very small, like very, very small amounts. But yeah.
I mean, I know. I mean, if we're talking like those sorts of volumes, then that's sort of almost under the radar, you know.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, if it's like buy the glass across 2 or 3 sites, then that's something else.
That's never gonna. I mean, it depends as well how much you can kind of allow us to take, and like, yeah.
But let's talk again in a couple of years.
No, that's why. Like, it's. I think it's kind of showcases of for some of the wines. I think it's yeah. I think when wines which are very nice to. I personally really like your estate. I think it's a very well known one nowadays for being kind of very I'll say that
Different.
no, not different, but like progressive and
Yeah.
not staying on the old school and trying to move on instead of being like the others and just doing what's been done and just repeating what it is about. And I think that's
Yeah, I
what's cool
agree.
about your estate.
Thank you.
Is this kind of progression which the others are not doing. The same with I think Davenport in Certain Way. They are one of the first organic vineyards in the UK, and they are making wines from they are not like the others, like let's say like Nightingale or Chapel Down. They are not following the path of Champagne and just copying and trying to do the exact same thing, which I personally do not like, but that's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, I mean that's lovely to hear. And no, I'd love the opportunity to be able to, you know, sell you a few bottles, you know, direct, just so there's a little bit of representation there. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something
Um,
I think would be really cool, if I may, is, you know, when you have all of these, you know, sort of special sort of one-off cuvées and stuff like that, you know, wines like that we can showcase up here and showcase what really, you know, what Tillingham really stands for and what have you. That, from my point of view, those sort of wines are the things that I'm really interested in.
Yeah.
Because it showcases you as a winemaker, it showcases Tillingham as a vineyard, and it's just a little bit different, you know what I mean?
And not having
Yeah.
to sell it to £1,000 just because we are
Yeah,
passing by
exactly.
5 different guys as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Cool. So what do you want to do next? Do you want me to send you some pricings on some stuff and some of the things we tasted, and then some upcoming releases and stuff, and have a think about it? If you want some samples, as and when stuff is available, I can send you your bottle.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I know that personally for L'Enclume, I will kind of look for in certain way the top ends for wines to have on the list by the bottle, just to show like, okay guys, like this is UK, that's serious wines. After it will be like maybe wine by the glass here and very time to times in certain amounts that you allow us to take. And after, like, I'm sure that's the guys like Kayleigh or Charles. I think it's to have them by the bottle or by the glass as well. Maybe something for Rogan & Co. It's a bit more different, a bit more funky and sparkly. I think that's what it's Rogan & Co. is about. But I think she will tell you more about what she's looking for from her voice. But you can see what Rogan & Co. is compared to what L'Enclume used to be. I think we are on different kind of mentality. I think L'Enclume is still very, very traditional, where Rogan Company, it's a bit more kind of bubbly and progressive as you are. Sorry, Rogan Co is a bit more bubbly and progressive as you are, I think.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I'll send some info, and I'll just reply on the email thread that we've got going.
Yeah, go for it, mate. Go for it. That's really fine. Thank you.
Ah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's us.
Hey mate, sorry.
Hey, you all right?
Yeah, good,
You're
good.
back again.
Yeah, back again. I think it was us actually, which was shit.
Well, should we call it there? Say goodbye.
Yeah, definitely, cool.
Really nice
Cool.
to meet you, mate. Thank you so much for taking
Yeah,
the
you
time.
too.
Neil.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Ciao, ciao.
Cheers.
See ya.
Bye.
Take care, man.
Yeah.